Hi Kapila. Firstly, congratulations on making a research project like this. It's very interesting to know. I have no idea of how water is treated and how these things are. I have a idea about about dyings and all that, but not this. So it's really exciting to it was really insightful and exciting to see your research coming out so well. I remember once we spoke about it as well, and you were telling me how you have been involved in Sri Lanka and how some of those things can be implemented here in the water, you know, in the drinking water sector facility for water safety. So it's amazing to see that. I'm so sorry now. I'm still at work. I'm just recording this video again for you. So let's see, how this goes. So let me start. So navigation of digital transformation in water safety planning technologies, ethics, and change in Aotearoa, New Zealand. It's a very heavy, what do you call it? It's a very heavy title, and I'm sure you'll do a brilliant job along it. I've already seen your presentation, and I feel that it was very in depth. A lot of insights which otherwise I don't think so we would ever get to see, and those things would really help. And this is my you know uh, peer feedback to you. I'm not an expert as you, but whatever I could find, I just thought I will sort it out for you and send it to you. And yes, this is a re-recording. I thought because it was my previous recording was corrupted, so I thought I'll just re-record and send it back to you. So what I want to share, uh, this is a short presentation which will provide you constructive feedback on the project of navigation of digital transformation and water safety planning. And I feel that it is a very important, because it is a basic need. It is a very important project to go by because it affects not only one but a lot of people, and especially at certain areas. Also, to tell you, in Hamilton right now there was a E. coli alert when I was staying in that area, and I think so it was for 3 days where I got notifications and everything. So yeah, so I understand the importance of it, maybe right now even more. My goal is to share a balance, uh, specific and reflective comments that support your project and your goals in development, where I don't have the insight to it, but what I've seen from your presentation and what I could gather is what I'll talk to you about. And this is a peer feedback which will help you and me both to learn and collaborate and to do different things for the research paper. So yeah, let's begin. So what was my overall impression? The presentation was really insightful. A lot of charts, a lot of pies. It it gave me a representation of something that you are so in knowledgeable about. It's so in depth. It was very well structured for definite, and it was clearly articulate, and it was clearly articulating the complexity of water safety in digital era, on how we can use certain technologies in certain parts to make a huge difference. I was impressed by the integration of technical systems, uh, SCADA, jigs, IoT, with ethical and cultural perspectives. So that was a really beautiful insight that you gave us, and I really liked how you integrated both of it together. And the discussion of Maori value data sovereignty on the you know on the principles of Tireti. Those things are really important, and I feel they add a lot of depth, cultural depth, to the kind of project that you are doing, because water sovereignty, along with data sovereignty, is a very important part of it. Excuse me. And your strong alignment between your problem statement, research, and the cultural context coming in together is really beautiful. It's really impressive, and it shows a different dimension to what you are trying to do, which is not just paperwork. You are really thoughtful about what you really want to do. uh, so my feedback on learning outcomes is, learning outcome, like the integration of cultural ethics and cultural intelligence. So you have excellent awareness of cultural and ethical and cultural dimension in digital transformation. But there, if there is any way of enhancing that and understanding the culture better, so that you can integrate it with your you know with your recommendations further, I think so it will take the whole project to a different level. You linked resilience not only to technology but also to the relationship and trust, which is really important, because I feel that we have already like spoken about relationships, and how trust building is done, how biases are formed, and things like that. And if you can take those things and you can somehow you have linked it to resilience, and you can do a different part of biases, of cognitive biases as well, of what we feel comes naturally to us but it doesn't, on how much of work goes behind it. So I think so you have the the platform to showcase that really well. And suggestion, like, include a concrete example of how Maori data sovereignty principles or shared governance could actually help in the decision making of your you know of your entire project. I think so having such examples actually shows people an insight, layman people like me an insight on how you actually want to implement those things, which I feel is a very important part of the project, and which I feel will only enhance on what you're trying to do. The other feedback that I have is the leadership and organization and resilience that you spoke about. So there's a strong reflection on relational leadership in which there is mutual respect. There's adaptability, in which you see everyone is equal and everybody can come to the table and sit and talk about things. So my suggestion is, if you can briefly outline how leaders can operationalize these values. So the values are set, you have found it out, but how do you think the leaders can put it in motion? Because I think so that will really make make your project seem different. Just a second, I'll have a sip of water. The other thing is that you can do it through co-design or participatory frameworks or things like that. You can bring those things in, which we have already learned about. And you can talk about a shared ownership kind of a thing, which I think so co-design or participatory framework is brilliant at, because co-design talks about the same thing, you know roundabout, in which you have like different stakeholders coming in and they sitting down together and co-designing something, which I also feel is the very core of a kind of project that you're trying to do, which makes it even more exciting. And my constructive suggestions to you are, engagement. Uh, since access to Maori leaders was a challenge, consider you can consider engaging through IWI networks, community boards. You see them all around, and you can, I think so, you can put up posters and things like that and encourage people to come and talk to you. And you can go to other Maori leadership directly, send them an email, talk to them over LinkedIn and LinkedIn and other places. And you can, because even if the government, even people at high position don't want to talk to you, there are other local leaders who would be really interested in this kind of project. The and the other part is data validation. If you can may plan a cultural review step to ensure correct interpretation of the Maori insights, right? Because I also feel that once you set up this cultural review step in the process, it will just validate your entire project even more, and it will make it more relevant to New Zealand than ever, because I think so those things are transferable and can be used you know quite nicely with the entire project that you want to do. And these refinements will also strengthen both your methodology and presentation impact. Well, I think your presentation is fantastic. It's just that, you know, it will, I just think it will strengthen your methodology even more. And that's a really win-win. Reflection and appreciation is reviewing your project deepens my understanding of how ethic, culture, and technology interact in a change system. And it's brilliant to see that. I say this because I see it when, when you're giving the when I saw the presentation. These are the kind of things that I felt. I value the way your research recognizes the participation itself is a form of organizational change, and it is, because without participation, I don't think so we would ever had any kind of change. And overall, this was a professional, culturally grounded, and forward thinking presentation, because you are thinking way ahead of how people are thinking about a simple thing, but it's actually not. So the undercurrent, the minute details are taken into consideration, and that makes this project such a uh, like a treat to see, you know. And thank you for sharing your work and contributing to our collective journey, because I feel that together we are stronger. And after going through your presentation, I understand how important participation is, important ethic and culture are. And I think that that's a win from any angle that you see. So, congratulations once again. And I'll see you soon in college. You take care.